So, good afternoon, Kap. We are the BSS Mathematics 3, and we are doing this for the requirements of the subject, the teacher and school curriculum. So, for the first question, in what ways does the Barangay Council collaborate with local schools to integrate community-based problems or local history into the students' learning experiences? So, sa ano-anong mga paraan, nakikipagtulungan ang sangguniang barangay sa mga lokal na paaralan upang maisama ang mga suliraning nakabatay sa komunidad o lokal na kasaysayan sa karanasan sa pagkatuto ng mga estudyante.
Magandang tanong yan. Unang-una, yung aming sangguniang kabataan, mayroong allocation para tulong na ating mag-aaral sa industriya. Yung barangay mismo, o pundo na galing sa barangay mismo, is mayroon din kaming binibigay sa kanila. Alam naman natin na kapag kakabihan na kapag gutom o yung siya tama, ay hindi masyadong natututo ang mga bata. Kaya mayroon kaming programa na feeding program para sa ating elementary learners. Last year, mayroon kami allocate na 15,000. Ngayon, 2026, ay mayroon magkano 20,000 na allocation para sa kanila. Maling na.
For second question po pa, what is the barangay definition is? Example, sun centers, free Wi-Fi zones, or media programs, or activities where students meet their curriculum requirements outside of school hours. So, ano ng particular na programa ang pinangungunahan ng barangay? Halimbawa, yung pagpapagawa ng mga study center sa school, libreng Wi-Fi zones, or media programs, na sinasagawa upang matulungan ang mga mag-aaral na matugunan ang kanilang mga pangangailangan ng curriculum kahit sa labas ng oras ng classroom.
So, lahat ng school na yata o mayroon pa iba, isa kami sa maswerteng barangay na binigyan ng Department of Information and Communication Technology na free Wi-Fi ang ating school at ang ating barangay. So, maliban sa matutunan nila sa paralan, pumapasok din ang ating mag-aral kasama rin yan ang maglibang. Mayroon kami ginagawa dyan sa school campus na children's playground. Dalawa ko yun. Upang malibang sila at hindi na ma-stray sa pag-aaral ng kanilang anak.
Ito po ka.
So, next question comes. How does the barangay ensure the safe and conducive learning, particularly those who have to travel late or attend community-based learning? So, ano yung mga hakbang na ginagawa ng barangay para ma-ensure yung safety ng mga students kapag late na silang sumunod? Bali, gastos lang namin nakuha yung pagkakita namin para pwede natin gamitin sa pag-ating na kanilang. Pero ang school natin naman, ang my is 24/7 naman yung ating lipat na nakaibigay dyan. So, para mas lalong safe o mas ligtas ang ating school premises, mayroon kami inilaan na pundo para ngayong taon na 20,000 para sa print o bakod ng ating. Yun lang, maraming salamat. Bakit po? Ay, nakarecord.
Good evening. Good evening.
We're from BSED Mathematics from Kasi Calamantig Campus. So, we're assigned to have an interview according to our course, and it's under on course of curriculum and teaching curriculum and school standards. So, first we have first question is, what specific strategy do you implement to ensure that the nation curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the social economic background of your student? Balikan ko, sir. What specific strategy do you implement to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the social economic background of our students?
Okay, thank you. Sa contextualization and localization, the common strategies is talaga, Q&A. Question and answer. Pero we make it sure, pag sinabi contextualization, na dapat ang context o laman ng question ay alam ng bata in the community. Kumbaga pa, nare-relate ng bata ang mga tanong mo sa mga everyday life nila. Ganyan. Then for localization, so dapat yung question namin na binibigay ay very suitable sa mga kaganapan within the locality. For example, bigyan kami ng question na dapat is related sa fiesta or related sa mga ganitong event, which is mas madali nilang maintindihan, mas madali nilang maunawaan or makasagot sila. Kasi doon sa binibigay ng libro, which is sometimes mahirap or mahirap nilang i-relate sa situation na mayroon. Especially kami ay tumuturo sa mga far-flung areas or far-flung school. So mahirap din yun. So dapat mas magandang contextualization and localization na gagamitin. Ganon din sa pagbigay ng mga projects. So dapat ay available ang mga materials within the community.
So, sir, for question number 2, how do you monitor and support the professional development of teachers, especially in mathematics, to ensure they are competent in delivering new curriculum reforms?
So, since magano tayo focus sa mathematics, so sorry to tell you, hindi ako nagtuturo ng mathematics, so i-relate natin sa English subject. So, one of the monitoring na ginagawa ko saan ba ito? Sa teacher? Sa teacher sa amin. Of course, continue the professional development through attending seminars, workshops, trainings, on ibigay ng central office or ng division office. So, dapat willingness to learn or willingness to attend sa mga training seminars and workshops.
Mechanisms rely to determine if the current curriculum is successfully meeting needs, and how do you identify them?
Okay, what mechanism to ensure curriculum evaluation? Siyempre, ang e-class record, di mawala. Ang standard ng DepEd is the electronic class record, kung saan doon ay may mga quizzes or written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment. So for me, ang iba kong basihan ng mga outputs ay portfolios, projects, performance tasks like role-playing, reporting, or oral presentations. Yan yung mga mechanism. And then, to address the gaps, ano ba mga possible gaps? Of course, ang low proficiency or low proficient output of learners. To identify the gap is dapat meron tayong matibay na basihan. Those are the grades or scores. So, para maka-address tayo ng mga event residents.
Hello po, mga good afternoon po. We are from BSED Mathematics 3 po, and yung activity na ginagawa po namin is about siya sa teacher's curriculum. So, here is the first question po. What specific strategies do you implement to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the socio-economic background of our students? Again po, what specific strategies do you implement to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the social economic background of our students po?
So as a teacher, we oftenly use localized example like livelihood, culture in order for our students to understand more our lessons. And we align topics with community and daily life experience so they are more relatable to them. Go po.
Second question, ma'am. How do you monitor and support the professional development of teachers, specifically in mathematics, to ensure they are competent in delivering new curriculum reforms?
So, as a teacher, we undergo different trainings and seminar, and also we attended different block sessions in mathematics and other subjects that we teach. Go po.
Here is your last question, ma'am. What data or feedback mechanism do you rely on to determine if the current curriculum is successfully meeting the learner's needs, and how do you address identified gaps?
So, we use test results based on our students and assessment score in order for us to track the progress and the performance of our students. In terms of addressing the gaps, we're going to undergo like remedial classes in order for them to para ma-address nila yung kanilang mga pagkukulang sa klase.
Thank you, ma'am.
Afternoon, sir. We are student of Pagdudot State University. We're doing this for the requirements to the teacher curriculum. So we have some questions. Yes. So the first question is, what specific strategies do you implement to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the socio-economic background of our students?
Okay, so by the way, let me introduce first. My name, I am Jeffrey Argento, a public school teacher of Limapi State International High School. I am a math major, no? This is I think, and you are a math major, right? So, this is kinda overwhelming, but I wanna try my best to, to give the best answer for your prepared questions. So, based on your question, as you have said, the specific strategies that we implement, to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the socio-economic backgrounds of our students. So, in our school, we ensure, to integrate lessons and examples, that are truly relevant to the students' daily experiences, Yun yung pinaka-importante na dapat ma-integrate natin yung lessons natin, yung mga examples natin sa kanilang daily experiences, cultural backgrounds, and socio-economic conditions. And also, we consider, also yung availability of resources, and the learning environment of students para mas ma-ensure natin yung classroom activities, that remain inclusive and achievable. So, that's all.
For the second question, how do you monitor and support the professional development of teachers, specifically in mathematics, to ensure that they are competent in delivering new curriculum reforms?
So, since I am not a mathematics major, I am specialized in math, Of course, our principal, basically ensure na talagang yung professional development ng lahat ng teachers sa school namin, is talagang updated. So that is why, lahat ng mga teachers, talagang nag-undergo kami ng continuous trainings, seminars, mentoring sessions, and yung LAC na tinatawag namin, yung learning action cell. So in that way, through providing consistent guidance and opportunities for growth, for all of us teachers, we truly help ensure, that teachers remain effective and updated, sa kanilang profession or sa aming profession.
So for the third and last question, so what data or feedback mechanism do you relate to determine if the current curriculum is successfully meet the learner's needs, and how do you address identified gaps?
Okay, so with your question, ma'am, so for us teachers to evaluate, how effective yung curriculum kung implement ba siya ng ng tama or ng sakto. Of course, we must or we should rely on assessment results, classroom performance, yung mga performance task ng mga bata, learner feedback, teacher observations, of course, and parents' insights. So, bakit kasali nito yung parents? So, dapat, di ba, may teacher at saka parents na connection, to surely monitor kung talagang na-adapt ba or na-acquire ba ng tama yung curriculum ng mga bata. And through continuous monitoring and collaboration among teachers, school leaders, and stakeholders, this would help improve the overall quality of curriculum implementation.
Good afternoon po, sir. We are ESL Mathematics 3 from SKS Calamansi, and we're doing this for the requirements of our subject in the teacher in the school curriculum. So we have here the 3 questions po. First, what specific strategies do you implement to ensure that the national curriculum standards are effectively localized to suit the socio-economic background of our students?
Okay, so pag sinabi po natin strategy, ito po yung mga iba't ibang klase na strategy na ginagamit namin, particular doon sa Catuasay National High School, which is the contextualization, tapos yung dinatawag natin na mother-based tongue or yung multilingual education is very important yun siya kasi zero my experience siguro doon sa Wasay. English ka ng English, which is hindi naman naiintindihan ng mga native person doon. So that's why kailangan mo matutunan or gamitin yung Bisaya or Tagalog. Kung pwede pa nga, gamitin mo yung yung dialect na meron sila. O yung which is yung Manobo. Kasi pag once na hindi mo yung ginagawa or hindi mo yung gagawin during your class, talagang titingin lang sa'yo siya maghapon. So ano yun siya. Then aside from that, meron pa tayong tinatawag na integration of local resources. Kung ano yung mga resources na nandyan lang, pwede, yun yung gagamitin mo. Huwag na tayo, example, lalo na sa mountainous area, di ba? Malayo tayo sa kabihasnan. Hindi na rin basta-basta kung anong kailangan natin na gamitin natin doon during the lecture or discussion. Hindi man tayo basta-basta makabili ng mga gamit na kailanganan natin during our presentation or during our discussion. So, kailangan ano meron doon na nandoon lang or kaya mong i-tabo neto, i-improvise, yun na lang. So, yun lang.
Okay, sir.
Go.
Okay, sir. Here's the second question po. How do you monitor and support the professional development of teachers, specifically in mathematics, to ensure they are competent in delivering new curriculum reforms?
Okay. So, pag sinabi natin paano. So, through monitoring and what we call the monitoring and support. Yes, yung dalawa na yon. So, kailangan natin na i-monitor kung ano ba yung mga dapat nating i-monitor. Of course, yung katulad ng classroom observation. Tapos, meron pa tayong tinatawag na yung lesson plan review. So, hindi man lang tayo basta-basta makapagturo na yung ito na yung lesson plan natin. Kadalasan sa panahon ngayon, lalo na pagod. Kung ano yung mga lesson plan dati, ano na lang natin, parang nire-revise na lang natin. Ginawa din yung mga standard student performance. So kailangan din natin makikita or bigyan attention or pansin yung mga performance ng mga bata kami. Especially sa math kasi maraming sad to say, sa sa mga bundok, mahirapan talaga yung mga sa numeracy and literacy problem namin doon sa class. And aside from that, yung tinatawag na teacher self-reflection. Diba? So, sa kayo mga estudyante naman, di ba? Ano ba yung kailangan kong gawin ka para ma-motivate yung bata, para ma-engage pa yung bata sa discussion? So, yun. Meron tayong class observation, tapos yung tinatawag na lesson plan reviews, student performance, and teacher self-reflection. Yun na.
Here's your last question, sir. What data or feedback mechanism do you rely on to determine if current curriculum is successfully meeting the learner's needs, and how do you address the identified gaps?
Okay, so dyan naman sa question na what data or feedback, siguro, pag sinabi ng data, yun yung mga national achievement test and national learning assessment. Isa doon yung, di ba kay every ano naman, meron tinatawag na national achievement test to test ba kung ano yung mga natutunan ng mga bata during the whole school year. Then meron tayong sa school level naman, meron tayong tinatawag na quarterly assessment. Yung first grading, second grading, third grading, gano'n. Then sa classroom level, yung quizzes, of course, diba may quizzes, then performance task. Then how gap, ano yung ma-address yung mga gaps. Of course, sa immediate classroom, meron tayong tinatawag na reteaching or remediation. Yun bang example, sa mga bata na mahirap mag-multiply, ganon. So, pabalikin sila or during weekend time, recess, ganon, or tanghalian, pinapabalik sila ng maaga para turuan paano mag-multiply, paano gamit ng iba't ibang operation sa math, lalo na sa math especially. Then, hindi lang sa math kasi problema doon or sa numeracy, meron din tinatawag ng literacy chunks. Kasi karamihan, hindi pa marunong magbasa. So, yun ang ginagawa namin, remediation. So, yun.
So thank you, sir, for your wonderful answer.
Nakagadi ka question.
We are the BSED Mathematics 3 and we are doing these requirements for the subject, the teachers, and the school curriculum. So, here's the first question. What are the most significant challenges you face when assisting your child with their curriculum requirements, especially and technically demanding subjects like mathematics? So, ano po yung significant challenges? Ano po yung challenges So, ano po yung mga significant challenges na na-encounter nyo po when habang gina-guide nyo po gina-assist nyo po yung anak nyo po in terms siya sa mathematics subject?
Sa totoo lang, hindi naman sila humingi ng tulong sa amin sa ganyan kasi parang alam na nila kung paano sila sasagutin o kung ano naman ano nila sa school. Hindi sila nagpapangayo o tabang sa amin.
So, for the second question, do you believe the current subjects and skills they taught to your child are sufficient to prepare them for either college or immediate employment after graduation? Yes. Why po?
Ano yun? Ano?
Paliwanag mo lang siya. Ay, nakalimutan ko.
Sorry.
Itong para mas maintindihan, kaya bitla ko. Di lang si Mike.
Kumbaga, ang learning ng
Ano yung isa?
Ano
Ano yan?
Do you believe the current subject and skill being taught for your children are sufficient to prepare? Ay, kumbaga yung subject ba at saka skills na ginaturo sa anak mo are sufficient. Kumbaga, effective ba siya para i-prepare sila sa college at saka kapag na-employ na sila after graduation?
Yes.
Yes, kasi halimbawa nakikita mo sa anak mo na sila na interest hindi na sila naghahingi ng tulong kasi interest sila sa mga subject, may interest sila sa mga subject na ginaturo sa kanila. Yun po. Yung halimbawa, sila na tama ang sufficient, tama ang mga ginatudlo sa ila kay na matabangan mo ang mga may interest sila sa mga subject.
Do you think
Kaya yes, kasi nga siya, nang wala pa hindi na sila naghahingi ng tulong sa parents. Yes, ganyan ang sabi ko. Yes, kasi why? Kasi nga, yun lang, hindi sila Yes, yes. Hindi kasi yes naman. Kasi, alimbawa, hindi na sila naghingi tulong sa mga, hindi na sila may interest na sila, may interest na sila dito sa subject na yes.
Ayun na lang.
Silin mo na lang tayo, sa palagay ko kasi hindi na sila naghingi ng tulong. And, sa palagay ko is may interest sila sa, sa mga subject na ginaturo sa kanila.
Sige, ulit.
Bigyan mo lang siya, yes, naman yes is, may support lang siya.
Sige, balik. Sige, balik.
Lang, trial lang daw, te. Yes. Hindi, wait lang. I-trial lang yan, te, ang sagot.
Yes, kasi siguro dahil sa tingin ko naman, hindi na sila hindi ng tulong. Talagay ko, yung may interest na sila doon sa mga subject na ginuturo sa kanila, kumbaga naiintindihan na nila. Kaya, yes.
Yun, ganun. Sige, go.
For the second question, do you believe the current subjects and skills being taught to your child are sufficient to prepare them either college or immediate employment after graduation?
Yes, kasi sa palagay ko, naiintindihan naman nila, kaya hindi na sila humingi ng tulong sa amin. Kaya siguro, sa palagay ko, oo.
Okay, and take it up po. Here's the third and final question. How effectively does the school communicate the learning competencies or goals of the curriculum to you so that you can monitor your child progress at home?
Oh.
Para sa akin, oo, mas importante na may komunikasyon kami ng teacher at saka yung anak ko para mamonitor ko kung may kahinaan man ang anak ko sa school o may problema. Kausap ko ang teacher para kung ano man ang problema ng anak ko o anong kahinaan niya, sabi niya din sa akin. Para kung pwedeng solusyonan, agad masolusyonan.
Hello, Ante. Mayong hapon. So, we are the BS Ed Mathematics 3 from Calimansi Campus. And ginagawa po namin itong activity na to under siya sa subject namin na the teachers for school curriculum. So, we have here 3 questions po. So, first, what are the most significant challenges you face when assisting your child when their curriculum requirements, especially in technically demanding subjects like mathematics po? Challenges. Opo, challenges. Mga challenges po na kapag nag-a-assist ka sa anak mo, like nagpapaturo siya or nagpapatulong siya sa gawa ng mga homeworks or mga activities, ganun po. Actually, pag elementary pa, hindi mo. Opo. Kung ano yung na-learn ko nung bataan ko, yun ang ina-apply ko sa anak ko. Pag school, rin kasi at ang mahirap subject, diba? Dapat makinig talaga sila sa teacher nila kung ano yung tinuturo ng teacher nila, dapat pakinggan nila para pag may homework sila, hindi sila mahirapan. Kasi sa high school, ang hirap ng math mo ngayon sa mga high school. Lalo na yung anak ko high school, nagpapaturo, hindi ko talaga maturuan kasi hindi ko maalam. Kasi matanda na din ako, buti sana ko. Yung learn ko noon is sa brain ko. Kaya yun ang way ko, dapat makinig sila sa teacher. Anong tinuturo ni sir, ni ma'am, dapat lagi silang mag-take note para pag may assignment, masagutan nila. Do you believe the higher subject experience will go to your child education for either college or employment after graduation? Ang question is, naniwala ka ba daw na ang current subject and skills ng anak mo na inuro sa high school is tama na ba para pumasok sa college o in the future na manipulation sa after graduation? Sabi ko din is iba ngayon mas grand ang mga high school. So, magandang tulong yun siya sa mga estudyante kasi pagpasok pa lang nila ng grade 7, meron na ng pagpilian na SPA or SPE. Kung SPE, the more on mga talents, diba? Tapos kung SPA, yan na yung mag-college ka,
either mag-believe na or basta lahat lang sa studying na strand nila is more on science tsaka math. And then, pag grade 11 nila tsaka 12, di ba may mga strands na kayo yan? So, malaki pa siguro yan, di ba? Parang malaking tulong din siya sa part ng estudyante kung anong kunin nila in-active word. Halimbawa, yung anak ko STEM graduated siya. So, pagpilian man yan niya kung anong course na kunin niya. Dahil engineer siya doon sa STEM. Yung teacher, yung SNO.
Yes.
Teacher. Makatulong talaga siya.
How effectively does the school communicate the learner competences or goals of the curriculum to you so that you can monitor your child's progress and growth?
Ano yung masabi ko dyan yung katulungan yung pagtawag ng mga teacher regarding the the rules. Makatulong siya. Halimbawa, kung may problema yung estudyante, pinakatawag ang parents. Maraming ang sabi about learning competences. Oo, kasi karamihan the teacher nga na-encounter ko, especially and may problema yung estudyante, automatic, tawagan nila yung parents or magpadala ng letter para makausap ng parents bakit may problema, bakit bagsak siya.
Kumain gabi we are based in Mathematics 3 from SKSU Calamansi campus. We are doing this interview for the teacher and the school curriculum subjects. So, there is the question. What are the most significant challenges you face when assisting your child with their curriculum requirements, especially in technical demanding subject like mathematics? So, ano da yung significant challenges or problem na na-encounter mo while when you assisting your child, especially in mathematics subjects?
Sa anak ko.
Opo.
Wala naman akong problema sa mga anak ko. Wala naman sila nag-ano sa akin kasi naman sila po sa pag-aaral niya. Nakikinig din sila sa guro nila ng mabuti at sa maganda yung turo ng teacher nila sa kanila. Kaya hindi na sila nagtatanong sa akin. Sila na lang ang sasagot. Kasi okay yung...
For the second question ko, do you believe that the current subject and skills being taught to your child are sufficient to prepare for them for either college or immediate employment after graduation? So, sa palagay niyo po ba, enough na yung knowledge and skills ng anak mo para makaproceed po sa college?
Para po sa akin na nanay, enough na po yun na maproceed siya sa college kasi alam ko naman mga anak ko nag-aaral ng mabuti. Nagkabayan din sa teacher sa eskwelahan.
Okay, good evening, Auntie No. So, ang last question is, how effectively does the school communicate the learning competencies or goals of the curriculum to you so that you can monitor your child progress at home?
Para sa akong parents, dako nga tabang ang communicate sa teacher para sa among parents para mabalaan namon kung ano ang kahinaan sa among anak sa eskwelahan.
So, good afternoon, ma'am. I am Donna May Madriaga. So, we are from BSS Mathematics. So, we're having an interview in terms of subject curriculum na the teacher and school curriculum. This is for our requirements for this subject. So, first we have,
Sige lang, okay.
Sabayan lang.
Recap lang to.
So, yun. First question. First question, ma'am, we have can you identify a specific topic in your mathematics curriculum that you find very easy to apply to your daily life or use? Why was it effective? So, in Tagalog, ma'am, ulitin ko yung question. Ano yung specific topic sa mathematics curriculum na sa tingin mo is pinakamadali para sa iyo na i-apply sa daily life or sa mga trabaho mo? So, din sa bakit?
For me, it is the addition and the subject. And because may tindahan kami, so may nagabili, so magamit yung dalawang yun.
Go.
The second question is, how will the current teaching methods and learning materials like modules or software help you understand the most difficult part of your lesson? The software and modules help you understand the lesson more because pag may modules and softwares, mas madali kang ma-recall yung naturo ng teacher ko previously.
Go.
So the third and the last question, how is
Go.
For the third and the last question, do you feel that your interests and career goals are considered in the way lessons are taught in the classroom? No, because mag-take ako ng PS of English and I think wala masyadong math terms. Kaya dapat na mag-align sa courses. So, thank you. So, good evening. We are the Verised Mathematics 3 and we are doing these requirements for the subject, the teachers, and the school curriculum. So, here's the first question. Can you identify a specific topic in your mathematics curriculum that you found very easy to apply to your daily life or chores? Why was it effective?
First lesson na madali lang for me na i-apply sa daily life ko would be percentage. Because percentage teaches us to like ipantay yung mga things. For example, about sa money. The percent that you have to pay does really matters para yung right choice or yung sana ako
Sige, pagka-ulit ka,
pakiulit na lang.
Can you identify a specific topic in your mathematics curriculum that you found very easy to apply to your daily life or choice?
A specific topic in math would be percentage because percentage teaches me how to like teaches me para paano ipantay. For example, sa money, yung ilang percentage yung i-pay mo, it really does matter kaya para you know, when it comes to earnings, mga ano ba din, like, ayaw ko sa math.
Same.
Hindi ko masabi yung word but percentage kasi pag
Maganda mabalance mo yung
mabalance mo yung money mo.
Photo mo yung dito ulit na.
Oh, i-edit lang din.
Iyan na, finalize na.
Tapos answer mo na, be. Go.
So here's the first question. Can you identify a specific topic in your mathematics curriculum that you found very easy to apply to your daily life or chores?
The specific topic would be percentage because as a student, napabalance ko yung, let's say, sa time ko, kung ilang percent yung ibibigay ko sa ganitong type of topic, like percent of time, para yung sa study session ko, mapantay ko siya or para maayos ko yung time ko in a right way.
Go.
For the second question, how well do the current teaching methods and learning materials like modules or software help you understand the most difficult parts of your lesson?
Kasi kung, let's say, sa modules, as a student kasi, yung way back sa pandemic, modules did not really help me. Pero yung sa iba, like, mga YouTube, mga, like, movie on YouTube, doon kasi, nasa-research mo yung mga lessons na kailangan mo and yung mga lessons na yun, hindi mo maintindihan, madali mo lang siya maintindihan kasi mas madaming nabibigay na sagot kung ina-search mo rather than sa movie. So, I believe masabi ko yung software sa
Okay, good evening po. Ito po ang last question. Do you feel that your interests and career goals are considered in the way lessons are taught in the classroom?
Yes, because as someone na ang goal ko talaga is maging successful civil engineer, it is really important na wait lang ate.
Go lang.
Naman na siya. Ay,
May langaw.
Samo pa yung lukay ba? Samo ka ano yun.
Sige, 1, 2, 3. Sa answer niya na. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Yes, it is really important for me consider yung the way na mag-teach yung mga teacher or something the way na mag-teach sila ng lessons. Kasi as someone na ang goal ko talaga is maging civil engineer, math talaga yung nag-point out sa mga lessons na yun. And sometimes yung mga math teachers namin, yung way kasi nila na mag-teach is not like nag-focus lang sila sa isang part ng lesson pero hindi nila gina-explain yung other terms na hindi maintindihan. So that's why minsan nahihirapan kami mga students na i-understand yung lesson na yun because hindi nila masyado na-explain. So I think yes, it is really important to consider that. Okay, thank you po.
Okay, so good evening po. So we are BSED Mathematics 3 from Calamansig Campus and we're doing this for the requirements sa subject po namin na the teacher and the school curriculum. So we have 3 questions po here. So first is, can you identify a specific topic in your mathematics curriculum that you found very easy to apply to your daily life or chores? Why was it effective? So dito po sa first question is, ano po yung mga specific topics sa mathematics na magagamit mo in your daily life?
For me is the plus minus because nagagamit ko siya sa aking pagtitinda, pagsusukli. Pero lang po.
Okay. So let's proceed to second question. How well do the current teaching methods and learning materials like modules or software help you understand the most difficult parts of your lesson? How well do the current teaching methods and learning materials like modules or software help you understand the most difficult parts of your lesson? So, paano ba nakakatulong para sa'yo, paano nakakatulong yung modules or software para mas madali mong maintindihan yung mga lessons na hindi mo gaano maintindihan in personal na discussion?
For me, nakakatulong siya sa akin kasi